am super excited for this video, you guys. We are all the way in New York in Bryan Mirabella's apartment. It is stunning and he looks incredible. 56 years young, living a mostly fruit lifestyle. He doesn't like labels, so he calls it a mucus-free lifestyle, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And he is a breathing expert. He knows so much information. So we're going to find out what he is eating to just feel so good, look so good, thrive in his 50s, getting towards his 60s, because I don't know about you guys, but that's how I want to be too. So how are you?
Good, Jillian. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have you in my apartment. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good vibes here. Thanks for welcoming us. We love it. And we love being in the kitchen. You guys love these videos, so we can't wait to see what you eat. First of all, take us through. You've been living a raw vegan lifestyle for, I think, over 6 years now, right?
Yeah, a little over 6.5 years now.
And how did going raw change your life, and what inspired you to go raw?
What inspired me to go raw was an acupuncturist telling me that my organs were failing. And then listening to Dr. Morse, watching hundreds of Dr. Morse videos. Started with Dr. Sebi, then it led to Dr. Morse. And I was like, you can clean your body on fruit? And I was like, well, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah.
And my present acupuncturist said, I don't think you should do this. You need protein. I said, Dr. Ming, I don't need protein. I've been vegan already 5 years. And he said, well, you need more protein. And I said, well, I don't get protein, I take marine phytoplankton. So aside from the fruit, my staple is a living organism. So it's a freeze-dried living organism. It's what the whales live on in the ocean. And each speck of marine phytoplankton has all the building blocks of life. So all this beautiful fruit is only able to grow on Earth because of the phytoplankton, which gives more oxygen to the atmosphere than trees.
And this is a high source of protein too, you think?
It's not a source of protein.
No.
It's got all of the essential amino acids, so the entire amino acid complex chain, which means when you have all of the amino acids in one organism, your hypothalamus gland gets all the amino acids, all the essential fats, and almost all of the vitamins and minerals in one organism. So it feed your hypothalamus, which is the conductor of Earth's symphony, and then your body starts to synergistically accept this, it's bioavailable, and then your body makes its own proteins.
Wow, fascinating.
So I don't have to ingest a protein, because when you ingest a protein, and I like to eat nuts sometimes, I have a little bit of almond butter that I use at night with my bananas, but I don't eat that for protein. I eat it because I get bored of eating fruit all day and I want to eat something different.
Yeah.
But in essence, that almond butter is actually creating mucus because my body has to break down that protein, which is not natural, but that's as far as I'll go. Nuts.
So start us in the beginning of the day. So any routines, meditation, this and that, and do you do any fasting in the morning? What do you have first?
So in the beginning of the day, I wake up and I do a cranial nerve workout. So I take 22 minutes and I activate my brain. I charge my brain on a daily basis. So once I charge my brain, I have more battery life to then complete the rest of my day, which means to work, to organize my thoughts, and to be able to digest food, but absorb the nutrients that are in the food. Because a lot of people may not even be absorbing nutrients.
Wow.
That's why I was one of those people who could eat whatever they wanted and still look lean because I wasn't absorbing nutrients. So people are like, well, I just don't get fat. You know, I have a body type that doesn't get fat. And if you're eating what you want, it's because you're not absorbing your nutrients. So after I do my brain exercises on a fasted stomach, I then do breathing exercises and I work out. So I do all of that fasted.
Oh, you work out fasted. I interview a lot of people who say they do that. How come?
Well, every animal on the planet that hunts is hunting hungry. And they're going all out to get their food. So for a short time, you're in ketosis, but that's also an emergency system. So you don't want to live in ketosis.
Because that stresses out the body, right?
Right. I have an Olympic champion who won the Olympics, and then the second time tried to do a ketosis diet, and he had no energy, and he wound up taking 8th. And then he got off ketosis and won the world championships for 4 more years. So ketosis did not work for him as a high-level athlete. And so then my first thing I put in my body is AscendedHealth.com's marine phytoplankton. So they use scalar wave technology. They infuse high-frequency vibrations from whales and dolphins into their product. So then I feed my brain first. Then 15 minutes later, I start eating a mucus-free lifestyle, which is watermelon. I try to eat my hydrating fruits as much as I can, and I don't mix unless it's, well, melons you're not allowed to mix. You cannot eat honeydew melon with watermelon. Melons cannot be mixed because it creates fermentation in your belly. So to be on a mucus-free lifestyle, you don't want to create fermentation in your belly. But I do that at night. We'll get to that.
Because we're not perfect over here.
That's right. Right?
Yeah.
So I eat my juicy fruits, my H3O2, my structured water. So it's hydrating my cells. So the first thing you need is a hydration in your cell. Therefore, your body can push oxygen into the cell. Oxygen can go into the mitochondria, and then you can produce energy. And when you produce energy, you're also producing waste. Now the waste gets pushed into the same exact place that it got its food from, which is the lymphatic system, the fascial system. And if that system is free and clean of acids, then your body knows what to do. It'll take in the sugars, and then it'll remove the acids naturally. Because you don't have an immune system, you have a septic system. Your body's supposed to be able to naturally use the sugars and get rid of the waste. And then the lymphatic system, which is collagenous, it's like, oh, I don't have my sponge, it's like a sponge. The body will know how to pull those acids through the lymph into the kidneys to be excreted, and then the digestive matter goes to your colon, and that's fecal matter.
Okay, and before we keep going, one thing for people who don't know, what are mucus-forming foods? What are mucus-forming foods that you stay away from? Like high-level mucus-forming, like what's the whole point of a mucus-free lifestyle? Yeah,
mucus-forming foods are meats and dairy, any starch. Starch is a mucus-forming food. Even though bananas are very, very healthy, they're a starch. Coconut is very, very healthy, but it's a starch. So they are going to create more mucus than watermelon.
Yeah.
So it slows down your detox, but it's not bad for you because at least it's in a fruit form. So from the fruits, then any kind of breads. Stay away from wheat, right? But once in a while, if you have a wheat pasta, it's not going to kill you. So like I said, I was recently on vacation, 17 days, and 4 nights. I made wheat pasta because my son is cooked vegan. So I made I only cooked one food. I made just wheat pasta, and then I took all fresh vegetables and I put it into the pasta. So I had that 4 times. I had it every 3rd day. And I allowed myself to live a little on vacation. So at that moment...
Because then I think it's what we do most of the time that matters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now I'm going back to not eating pasta. Because now I'm home.
Because if you eat that every night, you're not going to feel good, right?
Right.
You're not going to feel this vitality and energy, right?
Yeah.
That you feel now.
If I did it every night, yeah, it would be creating an energy suck on my digestion.
Yeah.
And then I go to my stone fruits. So right now it's summer. So I'm going to be eating nectarines. I'm going to be eating plums. So you can eat stone fruits with other stone fruits, the pits in the middle. And then usually right before my final dinner, now I'm starting to try to have more fibrous fruits. So I get my fiber at the end of the day. So now I'm eating like 5 or 6 mangoes. And then when it comes to dinner, I'm eating bananas with either tahini, which is going to create a little bit of mucus in my body, but I love it. It's delicious. So it's going to stop my detox, but it's okay. That's how I want to live my life. And then I'm going to eat almond butter with my bananas. I might crush up walnuts and put it on that. I might even use a little vanilla extract. So instead of honeys or maple syrup, although I would use maple syrup before I would use honey, because honey is a little bit acidic.
Yeah.
Right? So I would use that. And then my other dinner would be a salad. So instead of using oil and vinegar, I use lemon, lime, and orange to give me the acidity. And then I just put fresh herbs in it.
That sounds good, using lemon, lime, and orange. Yeah, herbs are so good in salad.
And then some spices.
Yeah.
And I don't really enjoy salad. I do it sometimes. I'm just bored. And I'm like, tonight I'm going to have a salad. But we're not really designed to be omnivores or herbivores. Because if you didn't put that stuff on the salad, would you sit there and eat lettuce? You wouldn't just eat a leaf. It wouldn't taste very good. So we need to dress it up, right? But fruit is in its natural state. It's delicious. That's why children love fruit, because it's sugar. And then my other dinner is that I will like to make guacamole. So my guacamole, I'll use a little zucchini, some red peppers, and some cucumbers. So fruits, right? But on the vegetable side of the fruit. And then I'll put it in a raw vegetable wrap. I'll also use a lot of lemon. And that's my dinner. So I stop my detox at night. And because I'm mixing foods, now I'm mixing food at night, there's going to be fermentation in my gut.
From the mixing. Because the simpler we eat, we avoid that, right?
Yeah.
And if we avoid mucus-forming foods, we avoid that too.
Right.
Yeah.
But my fermentation foods at night are still on the high vibrational side because I'm using bananas, I'm using nuts, I'm using guacamole with a dehydrated vegetable wrap. So it's not completely mucus-free, but it's still a high vibrational diet.
Exactly.
And it gives me the feeling of variation in my life, which I very much need. Because
and have you ever done just fruit? You have, right?
I've done it for periods of time.
Yeah.
Actually, Concord grape season's about to start. New York State is where they are all grown. So the most I've done is 16 days. I need a new juicer. I haven't gotten one yet. I have a powerful juicer that I tried juicing grapes and it did not come well at all. I need a new juicer. So I would like to do another at least 2-week grape cleanse. So I would just drink grape juice for 2 weeks. But I chew it.
Yeah.
So when I do a juice cleanse, I chew it. And I don't believe in juices all the time, only for a short period of time, because we have teeth. And when you chew, you stimulate electrical currents in your brain because your teeth are batteries. So you have to chew. I know people do 120-day juice cleanse and they feel great, but it's a short period of time and you need to chew your food. That's why you have teeth. So you can't be juicing forever. Maybe you do a juice during the day, but then you go back to chewing your food.
Yeah, because we need to eat the food too.
You need to eat. The digestion process starts in your mouth. So that's where you get your enzymes from. So you've got to chew your food and not drink it.
And do you do any intermittent fasting or no? Like, are you ever conscious of what time you stop eating at night?
No, not. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stop eating by the latest, sometimes 7:30, but I try to stop eating 6:30 to 7. Just because when I wake up in the morning and I want to exercise, I want to get right into hydrating myself. So I'll eat half of this, and then by the time I get to the gym, it's 30 minutes later, and now I have water in my body and sugar. So I'll either do it fasted, and as soon as I'm done with my workout, I'll eat watermelon, or if I feel hungry and thirsty, I'll do it beforehand, but it'll only be watermelon in the morning.
Okay, and maybe like over 6 years raw foods, what are some of the biggest things you've learned? Or even anything like if you were to start over, you'd do differently for people watching who want to get into it?
That's a great question. So I have had teeth problems. I didn't have good teeth my whole life. I had a lot of teeth pulled when I was young, and I think I went into detox too fast. So maybe if you're using a Dr. Morse trained detoxification specialist who can look into your eyes, because some people will go raw, but they don't know whether or not it's good for them. So they'll go raw, and if you release so many toxins into your body's going to push out, it's going to reject what might not be good for you, and I'm having some teeth issues.
Wow.
So everyone's different. Some people will have no teeth issues, but I didn't have good teeth to begin with, and I'm having some teeth issues, so I have to be on certain protocols that don't push the toxins into my body. That's why every night I go and I eat some fermentation-style dinners, so I'm not in constant detox, so that doesn't happen to me. But I have had trouble with my teeth, and you can grow them back, but you got to clean. And like Professor Ehret said in his book, vitality equals, so V is vitality equals P, power minus O. Power minus obstructions. You got to get rid of the obstructions before you can rebuild and rejuvenate. But if you're not working with a trained detoxification specialist who can read your iris, you might be going too fast, too quick. And that's what happened to me, because the first 4 years I didn't. and that was the problem.
Wow.
I did it on my own, and that caused the problem.
So what advice would you give people to get more of help with it and
To
stuff?
find a Dr. Morse trained detoxification
Yeah.
certified specialist, or to get a really well-trained iridologist.
Yeah.
So they can look in your eyes and know how to help you do it slowly in transition.
Okay. And any advice for somebody watching who wants to eat more like this? Like they want to eat the whole foods, but they struggle because everywhere you go, it's like Dunkin' Donuts. It's like their favorite pizza, their favorite bagels, the coffee, or they find that's how they connect with people. Like a lot of people want to live a healthier lifestyle, but they really struggle with doing it, right?
So my favorite food in the world is pizza. And I go into pizzerias and I look at the pizza and I smell it. And then
I love it.
And then I walk out.
Yeah.
Because, and I have pizza once a year. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah, you did.
I have pizza once a year.
Do you really enjoy it when you have it once a year?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll have like 4 slices.
Do you notice a difference though, like the next day, or how you feel?
Yeah, I feel bloated.
Yeah.
My nose is more clogged, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to do it once a year.
It's once a year, right?
Yeah. So the advice is, do your juicy fruits during the day. Really make an effort to have your first 2 or 3 meals only fruit, and then go and eat what you want. Because even the detoxification specialists I know, they don't tell people to stop eating meat. If somebody's been a flesh eater for 10 years, you don't just tell them to stop eating meat. You wean them off of it. So that's very important, because the food you eat turns to bacteria in your gut. So then you're craving these foods because these microorganisms are living in your body. That's why it took me a year to get off meat, because I noticed I would go 2 weeks and then I'd need to eat meat, didn't know why. Then it might be a month and then I'd go back to it. And then I finally got off meat, but I was still eating eggs. I didn't realize, so it took me another year to get off eggs.
It takes time. It takes time for a lot of people. It's really relatable.
So it took me 2 full years to get off those types of protein, mucus-forming foods.
Yeah, wow. And I think that's relatable, right? It takes people time.
Yeah.
For most people, it's not just overnight. They're eating really clean, right?
Yeah. So it is baby steps. It really is baby steps. And you have to be with, I think you really need a professional who has been through it, because they're your best guide. You know?
Yeah.
And you can find lots of people like that online.
Yeah.
Who you can watch an Instagram channel, but you know, you really have to have your iris read to
Your
really
eyes,
know.
right? Yeah, because through our eyes, a lot of people who do iridology, they can see what's going on in our body, right? What problems there may be or what we need more of and stuff.
That's the window to your soul. Your iris shows all 700 lymphatic vessels in your body. So it can literally pinpoint stagnation. Because I was on an herbal protocol at the beginning of February, and 6 weeks into it, I had a major detox reaction where my knee swelled up. So this was my wrestling leg, meaning I had my leg turned out my whole life, and this whole entire energy system got blocked, and it released all this uric acid, and my knee blew up, my lymphatics blew up, and I couldn't walk. I was crippled for 3 weeks, and it was not pleasant. So healing isn't always great. It's not smiles and rainbows. There can be reactions like this, and that's why you have to take it slow. And you have to know where you are in the process. That was way too fast of a detox for me, and I'm never going to do that again. I would rather live to 95 than think about living to 105. If it's going to take 10 years off my life, I'm okay with 95.
Yeah, I love it.
As long as I cannot have those things happen to me again and not lose teeth and things like that. You know, but my eyesight's gotten better.
Wow, yeah.
My sense of smell has gotten better.
Yeah, me too.
Now that I've been working on my brain every day, I had tinnitus. The fruit didn't do a thing for tinnitus. It didn't help me sleep any better, and it didn't heal my nervous system because my HRV a year and a half ago was still in the tank. So the fruit did not heal my nervous system whatsoever. It cleaned my lymph.
And the lymph is important.
It cleaned my lymph, so it allowed my organs to flow better, but the damage was already done in my brain, and you have to work on your brain and your breathing separately apart from fruit.
Wow. And we just did a podcast about breathing, so I'll put that down below, and I'll put it on the screen at the end of this, but yeah, that's fascinating.
So I teach people all of that. I take them through systems. I teach them a curriculum. because now I'm doing it all. And now I have a lot of experience doing it all. So I'm able to put all of this together in a curriculum for people and then give them a baseline and a foundation for the rest of their life.
I love that. And do you think you'll continue with the raw foods?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel amazing when I eat like this.
Better than before, right?
Yes.
Big difference.
No, I am religious. I do not eat anything other than fruit until the last meal of the day. And I think a lot of people too out there believe that you should eat your more dense meal from noon to 3, but I don't want to do that. For me, I want to, because if I have a dense meal, I'm going to tend to crave another dense meal because of the fermentation.
True. Yeah.
So I will only eat mono fruits all day long until the last meal.
I feel like
And
that's
I'm
how you
religious
feel
with
your
that.
best. That's
I'm
how I would
religious.
feel my best too. That's what feels the best to me. Like fruits, coconut
Yeah.
water, green juice all day, and then a big salad.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's inspiring because you started the journey later, right? A lot of people, like I interview people like Chef Babette, she's 75, I think, or 74, and people love that she didn't start till her 40s. So I think you got on this journey, like you started
48.
because you were still doing drugs in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
So that's inspiring to a lot of people watching, right? It's never too late, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Because I healed my organs. You know, I healed them. I took them out of, my acupuncturist said, you're actually reestablishing your primordial chi energy. He's like, and I didn't even know that was possible. So I worked on my nervous system, and then I cleaned my lymph, and then my body started to heal itself because all the stem cells that you were born with are still there. The only reason that we age is because there's acids in the way. So you're driving down the 405 and you're in traffic because all the other cars are acids. So there might be a stem cell up ahead, but you can't get to that stem cell, can't get to the cell that needs help because there's acids in the way.
So how do we avoid the acids? What are, that's all the mucus forming stuff, right?
Yeah, it's the mucus forming stuff. And,
Yeah.
and it's a process. It took me 2 years,
It's a process.
to get off of it. But now this is the way I want to eat.
Yeah, that's great. You're living your best life.
Yeah.
Most authentic life. So that's the best thing we can do. Each live our life, genuine to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And okay, favorite quote and favorite book.
My favorite quote is by me.
I love that.
I made a quote because I've been working with so many people for the last 8 years, and it's, you don't know how good you don't feel. You may think you feel good, and then when you start to remove the stuff and heal your nervous system, people wake up and they're like, wow, because that was me. I was struggling, and then I started to feel better, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, I was anxious. But I would never have known I was anxious because I wrestled. So the anxiety was locked in me, and I thought being, having this kind of energy was good for me, but I was burning energy. I was burning it. And now I'm more calm. So I say, you don't know how good you don't feel.
It's true.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so true. I had no idea until I went raw, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then my favorite book, it's a toss-up. It's between Man's Higher Consciousness by Professor Hilton Hotima and Return to the Brain of Eden by Tony Wright, which is mind-blowing because he's going to teach you all about fruit and hormones. He'll teach you that the high levels of testosterone that people think they need over the meats has caused a degradation in humanity. And that's not debatable. If you go on Google Scholar, you'll see that the brain has actually shrunk over the last 10,000 years because we started to eat wheat, we started to become carnivores, and our brain has gotten smaller. It was the fruit that gave us the big brain to begin with, which is how we were able to, as Pangea started to split apart, we had to adapt to a changing climate because fruit wasn't readily available, but because we already had the large brain, we were able to then probably figure out how to light fire, how to take down an animal, because we don't have any tools naked that can kill an animal. So we didn't evolve, we adapted to the change in the environment, and that's Dr. Bruce Lipton, epigenetics. You're constantly adapting. You're not evolving. In fact, we've devolved.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Majorly devolved.
Yeah.
But
because we're not breatharian and we're not frugivores, so
yeah,
we've
we're
devolved.
Dunkin' Donut wars out there. Yeah, no, but we're making our way, right? It's going to change.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say Dunkin' Donuts because they've changed their branding to D&D because they don't want people to know Dunkin' Donuts where they're Dunkin'.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they took away the donut part.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the world's going to change.
That's so funny. Well, I think so. I think RFK so far is doing some good things. Maybe not all good things, but they're trying.
Yeah.
Because they gotta wake people up slowly. They can't just hit them over the head with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, because it can't keep going on like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to change. And thanks for you changing things. And so you know so much about the breathing, like I said. So you guys go check out that podcast. It was so good. I didn't know we're supposed to sleep with our mouth closed. Maybe wear tape to make sure that happens. So many interesting facts. So I'll pop that on the screen right now. I'll put everything for Bryan down below. Go follow him, hire him for his coaching, and everything he has, I'll link down below. I think he has the phytoplankton too, right? You can give us the link?
Yes.
Because people always ask for that. When I interviewed you last in New York, they were like, where can I get this? So I'll put the link down below. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. More great videos coming soon. And we love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.